So every week, I want to give you an opportunity to create income, look at a deal, and do a little bit of research and see if this jogs your memory to create some income or have a conversation with somebody. Remember, this is kind of me inviting you into my world at the kitchen table and showing you exactly the behind the scenes of how to work, how you create money, and how we collaborate together. All right, strategy of the week. What's up, Build Not Bought community? I'm gonna start calling you the B&B community. It doesn't stand for, Airbnb. So, but want to dive into this. So every week, I want to give you an opportunity to create income, look at a deal, and do a little bit of research and see if this jogs your memory to create some income or have a conversation with somebody. Remember, this is kind of me inviting you into my world at the kitchen table and showing you exactly the behind the scenes of how to work, how you create money, and how we collaborate together, and how this is ultimately a win for you and your client and for us all together, because it's a collaborative way to sell real estate, exchange it, and we're all winning together, and we're bringing value to your client because you made the investment to be here. So here's what we get. And don't worry about bringing your friends. You guys can, compete over it later. But here's the deal. Strategy of the week. 3 ways to work with us on this property. So you ever see wholesale deals, which, by the way, I'm going to give you guys first look at everything here. And what we're going to do is when you decide that, hey, I'm interested or I have a buyer interested in this, you're going to call me. We're going to walk through it, see what it is. So on the first one, this property, it's on Golden Lane. It's at 43rd Avenue and Olive, and it's a great block home. Roof's about 10 years. AC's about a year old. Most of the windows have been replaced, and it is in tip-top shape. Like, it is original. Flooring is good. Everything is really good. You'll see the pictures down below. So it is a live-in, movable house. It's got great backyard, all the things. And by the way, great rental property. Like, this would be my ideal rental property in any market, because this one right here, 1,300 square feet, 2-car garage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, no pool, great house, great rental, great place to start if you're thinking about that. This is a great place to buy rentals. Or, God, there's so many ways we could work together on this. God, if you're a real estate agent and you don't own a house and you want to look for your first house, I would buy something like this below market using hard money, and then do a little bit of renovation to it and then refinance it owner occupied using the equity upside. Because this house ARV is probably 370 to 385 if it was redone. And I think if it was paint, carpet, or moderately renovated, you'd probably be about 350. So here's where we are. Right now, before June 1, if you have a cash buyer, or you're a cash buyer, or you want to buy this as a rental property with hard money for $295, you absolutely could. And in that $295, you're going to net a $10,000 wholesale fee or referral fee. That's what we do. We give you a referral fee, and that's what we pay you for introducing the buyer. And then we net sellers. So seller's net is $295. When you bring that to a buyer, it's $295 net. There's no additional commissions you have to put on. You get a 3% referral fee, or the $10,000 referral fee here. And then your buyer pays for all the closing costs, which is probably about 1% in this situation. So they're going to be all into this thing for about $297, with the ability to just rent it out the way it is if they wanted to. It's turnkey. And by the way, at $295 or $297, they are picking up about 10% equity. That's what this deal looks like. Super clean right there. That's a June 1. Let's go to, I have a buyer. This is a creative conversation. So this is where we're going to create income through conversation by having an opportunity. And remember, it's not about the house. It's about the conversation. So you're bringing an opportunity saying, oh my God, I have this opportunity. We could do this. Would you be interested in? Because I've got 5 other clients that are really interested in, and if this house doesn't work, I just wanted to see if this is on your radar. What happens if you make 10 calls and 3 people are like, oh my God, dude, I've been thinking about you. Like, I'm super excited because you brought me this. You've added value. You didn't send them an MLS link. You said, I was thinking about you today and I have this deal. This is what it looks like. So, or you're checking with me, you're like, okay, if Steve doesn't sell it by here, which I will, unless somebody comes to me and says, hey, I have a buyer or an investor that wants to buy this as a rental and they want to do financing. The difference is that now I have to close on it. So that's why the price changes, because I'm going to have holding costs. I'm going to have title costs. I'm going to have all the costs. So there's an additional cost in here when we close on and go back to market, because I can also take this and spruce it up and just put it on the MLS, but I'm bringing it to you here at this. And here's why. We have a 310 base, and now we have about $40,000 spread that the house is worth about 350. So if you've got a great first-time home buyer that's qualified, been with a lender, they need closing costs, maybe they want to do a little paint and carpet, we can then take this 310 and work the contract backwards. Closing costs, your commission. Did you want to get paid 4% commission because you brought them an off-market deal? Cool, let's work that into the deal. I can work out a bonus on that. This is creating income. This is creating conversation because now you have this opportunity that you didn't have before because you're investing here on a weekly basis. And then you get these emails, you're like, cool, I can look at this. What conversation can I have with somebody about it? Nothing's hidden here. The cool part about this thing is that right now, if you call me, you're like, hey dude, I really have a buyer that can do this and they're qualified, then we'll get an agreement together that's contingent upon me taking possession of it, and then we can work through it. The other thing too that's a little bit tricky about this price range is knowing, is your buyer FHA? Because then we have the 90-day flip rule. Dead issue, right? Nope, we don't do dead issues around here. We remove obstacles. That was kind of lame, huh? That was very hillbilly. We remove obstacles, motherfucker. Okay, so we remove the obstacle here. This is how it would work. You're like, cool, dude, we settle on 350. We're gonna pay your agent. We're gonna pay your closing costs. We're doing inspection. And you're ready to move in. So let's do a lease purchase, lock in your price, do your inspection, go ahead and move in. You pay rent. And then the minute we can get the appraisal ordered, all we have to do is close on it. Still solving the problem. Numbers might change a little bit depending on the rent. We can bake that into cost. There's so many moving parts here when we sit down and do it. It just doesn't make sense for everybody. And is this a cool opportunity for you to call a buyer in the 350 range and go, I have this deal, I know how to work it out. 3, you could just refer the buyer in. You're like, hey dude, I got this cash buyer. I think it worked for this property. I don't want to screw it up. Can I refer them to you or bring them in, or can we strategize on it? If that happens, you can refer the buyer or you work with the buyer and we share in this 10K. So there's so many different ways. And if you want to do that, you don't even have to do the work. You just have to make the call and introduce my crew to whoever your client is, and now we'll take over from there. So the strategy of the week is this property on Golden. I highly suggest that you take a look at it, do some numbers on it for yourself. The address is down below with the pictures. And remember, this is for you. It's not to be sent out to a bunch of people. It's not a wholesale deal for you to daisy chain. If I find you doing that, I'm kicking you out. I'm serious. This is about creating conversation. This is not the wholesaler world. We're not daisy chaining stupid shit and doing stupid things. This is legitimate, so you guys can work through it, learn through it, and earn some money, and we can collaborate together. If you're gonna take it outside, but not here. Not here, because it's the respect. We're building something together. And when you learn this and you put this into your toolbox, now when you're on the other side of this, you're going, hey, let me show this to you. Things we're learning, right? I'm gonna reverse the situation real quick. So here's the reverse situation. You found this house. You didn't necessarily know what to do with it, but you wanted to present options. And by the way, this house is perfectly able to be put on the market. The seller just chose the easy button because I put it in front of them. So on the last call, we went through the 3 options, 1, 2, and 3, right? Seller's guesstimate, your opinion, and your cash button. So when you do this, you're getting a 3 to 3.5 here in income, in earned income. Over here, you're creating income. So let's say in the $400,000 price range, you would create $12,000 in commission here. Over here, you might create $20,000 or $24,000 or $25,000, depending on where you buy the property and who you can connect it with. You see, some properties, if they're borderline rental or owner occupant, you can actually make more money on by closing and taking it to market. Some of these, it just depends on where you're at. But again, we're going from 1, 2, 3. And just because I put this out here, now you guys have the opportunity because they didn't want to put it on the market. So you guys have had first opportunity right here before something goes to market. And you know the numbers to see how it works. And you have somebody that's willing to work with you and work through it with you, not try to hold back. Well, there's no posturing. Everything's out in the open. So practice, understand that, again, take it in reverse. This is the way you get creative. And then when you have the cash deal and you're going out, you're like, hey, I want to get 360 out of this. And you're going to net 20 or 25,000 bucks, and it's still a deal for somebody. This is where we collaborate. This is where we share. This is where things come across. And this is how we ultimately build that freedom and do less work, provide more solutions, and create more options for our clients. Enjoy the strategy.